Hey y'all, I'm Hope. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about the series that I'm hoping to read in 2024. I've picked a lot fewer series this year than I did last year. I think I picked far too many. I made very little progress on my series goal for last year. So this year I decided to just pick some series, some that I want to start, some that I'm partway through that I want to continue, and just try to prioritize those. And I've chosen them kind of based on like how long they are, how many books I already have on my shelf, and how much shelf space they actually take up, because I am trying to move as many as I can off of these shelves. So that was kind of what I was thinking about when I was putting together this list. I have two that I've chosen that are for my like cursed books club that I have with my friends, where I read series that they want to know what happens, but they don't want to read it themselves. So I read them and tell them about the books. So I have two series for that, and then the rest of these are just things that I've been wanting to read for a while now, or that I've started and need to continue, that have just been sitting on my shelves. They take up a lot of space because there's several books in the series, and those are going to be my top priorities, I think, for 2024 in terms of series. So the first two things I have to talk about here are my two Cursed Books Club series that I'm going to be reading. The first one is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I've been trying to read this for several years now. I think my mom gave me the whole series, like the box set, for Christmas last year, the year before. So I've started this book twice and DNF'd it twice. But I really want to get further in. I know the series is supposed to get better when you get further into the series. And this is one that, like, ACOTAR was the first series that I read for my friend's Cursed Books Club. So it feels right to, like, go here next, right? Like, to go back and read Throne of Glass. So this is the first series I want to prioritize. I don't anticipate for either of these two series I'm about to mention that I'll get through the whole thing in 2024, but they're series that I really want to, like, make some progress in, and especially because it's been a while since I've done any, like, cursed book reading for my friends. So I want to do more of that in 2024, just because it's fun and we enjoy, like, hanging out through that, like, platform. So that's the first of the two. And then the other one that I'm hoping to read is the Sookie Stackhouse series. And the next one I need to read is Living Dead in Dallas. So this is a series I have started. I have the next 12. I think there's 13 books total, if I remember correctly. And I have the rest of the series on my shelf. I got them at a used bookstore recently. And I want to continue making progress here because these are just like fun and silly. And they're really great palate cleansers between some of the other more difficult books that I tend to read, especially with like the stuff I'm reading for school, which tends to be quite dense and difficult. So I like having these as like a palate cleanser between other things. So those are my two cursed ones. The rest of these are just series that I am super excited to read. The first one that I have here is Between Earth and Sky by Rebecca Roanhorse. The third book is supposed to be coming out in 2024 in like April or so, but I have both Black Sun and Fevered Star on my shelves. I started Black Sun and I read like 150 pages of it, and then I stopped reading it, and I genuinely don't remember why, because I was loving this. I think the characters are fantastic, the plot is really interesting, and I just really want to get back to this one and finish it because I was having so much fun reading this. I've heard nothing but praise for this first book, and I've heard the second book is not quite as good, but still like very good. So I'm just really excited to read this series, and I want to finally like get back to it because I started this in like 2020, and I feel like it's time for me to kind of finally return to it and actually finish the first book and read the rest of the series. Next up, another series that I've started and loved, and I am so excited to continue. It's the Greenbone Saga by Fonda Lee. I'm currently on Jade War. I started buddy reading this one with a friend, and then we didn't finish it because we were both scared of what she was going to do to the characters. But I really want to get back to this one and finish it because I do have Jade War and Jade Legacy on my shelves, along with the couple of novellas and short story collections that came with this series. So Jade Setter of John Loon and Jade Shards as well. And I really want to finally get back into this story because I love the characters so much, and I am really interested to see the way that this is going to like build out the politics. I've heard that this kind of expands things a little bit, and then Jade Legacy like expands things even more. So I'm just excited to see like where the politics are gonna go, what's gonna happen to this like pretty vast web of characters. And I know that it's going to be painful because Fonda Lee is not afraid to hurt her characters, but it's just going to be so good. Like, I already can tell it's going to be fantastic. I think this is going to be a new all-time favorite series because Jade City is already one of my all-time favorite books. I think I might reread Jade City before I get back to Jade War, only because it's been so long since I read the first book, but I am beyond excited to dive back into this series. These last three are ones that I haven't started yet, but I've heard good things mostly about all of them. So first up here, I have Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. I know that The Locked Tomb is like a beloved cult classic series at this point. So many people love these books, and I did read about 100 pages of this and really enjoyed it. I was really liking the voice of Gideon in this book, and then I ended up having to turn it back into the library. I got myself a copy, but I just haven't had a chance to go back and actually read it. So I have the first 3 books in the series, and the 4th one is potentially coming out in 2024. Unclear whether it's actually going to come out, but I know that I have 3 to look forward to, and I was loving the voice of this so much, so I'm looking forward to trying again and actually getting further in. I know that the later books are supposed to be quite confusing, but it seems like it's going to be a really interesting reading experience, and I'm excited to give it a shot. Next up is a series by one of my favorite authors. This is The House of Shattered Wings, which is the first book in the Dominion of the Fallen series by Alia de Bedard. This is a kind of historical fantasy series set in France, I believe. Yeah, so it's set in France, and there's been some sort of war called the Great Magician's War, and it's about these like politics that have sprung up in the wake of this big war. I don't remember much about the plot beyond that, but I have read a couple of spin-off books from this. There's a spin-off series of novellas, of like mystery novellas, that I absolutely love, and I know those characters from that series show up in here, so I'm really excited to get into this one. I've started this previously as well, but this one was just that I picked it up at a bad time where I was like very busy with school and I was very like tired, and this one is very complex. And I was immediately realizing that I was not taking in enough information to understand what was happening. So I decided to set it aside and come back to it later when I had like the mental energy and space to kind of process it. I think this is going to be a really great one. I love everything I've read from Alia de Bedard before, and I know that I already like some of the characters that are from this series, so I think it's going to be great. I think this is like, similarly to the Greenbaum Saga, I think could be a new favorite series. I just really needed to have the mental space for it, and I'm hoping that 2024 is going to be the year that I actually like find that time and energy to read it. And then finally, a series I've been telling myself I was going to read for the last 2 years. I have the Indian Lake trilogy by Stephen Graham Jones. I still need to read the first book. The 3rd book is coming out in the spring of 2024, I think. Soon? I can't remember exactly when it comes out, but I keep meaning to get to this series and then just not quite getting there. But I've loved everything else I've read from Stephen Graham Jones, so it's like I know I'm gonna enjoy it. I just somehow haven't managed to prioritize it. So I wanted to put this on this list to actually encourage myself to finally do that and prioritize it. But yeah, I don't know why I haven't gotten to this series yet. I just haven't, and it's time for me to, like with this one, it's time for me to finally come back to it and finally dive in, basically, is what I'm getting at. So those are all the series that I'm hoping to start in 2024. I say start, it's all the series I want to read in 2024, whether that is starting the series, fully reading the series, completing the series, whatever it is. I just want to make progress in all of these and actually start moving them onto my read shelves. I think these are all ones that I'm going to really like, excluding perhaps my 2 cursed ones. Those ones I'm going to like in the sense that I'll have a really fun time reading them and talking to my friends about them. So like they're all going to be really great experiences, I think. I just am hoping that I'm able to prioritize them in the coming year. So that's pretty much all I have for you today. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments below what your most anticipated series of the year is, something that you're wanting to either start or finish. I'd love to know what series you guys are going to be reading. And if you've enjoyed this video, I hope you'll consider giving a like and maybe even subscribing to see what comes next. I'm currently posting every Tuesday and Saturday, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.